Welcome to True Star Topics, sponsored by True Star Media. My name is Skylar, and I'm here. Jakayla.
Taylor. Okay, so today we want to talk about the stress that is put on children. Well, not really children, but teenagers in high school during the end of the school year or at the ending of the school year. And I'm honestly going to talk about like my personal dealings with this. I'm a sophomore and I go to Kenwood, and it's around the end of the year now. It's May 2nd, and before finals and like in between like this little finals and like the ending of like the third quarter or whatever, we get a lot of busy work. But like the busy work is like busying, and I feel like we just get like a lot of work, and like it's like a whole bunch of stress that's just put on children, and well, just teenagers. And like usually in a school year it'll be like probably like two classes that just give you a lot of work, but like now it's like every class is giving you a lot of work, so like you have to go home and do the work and probably have other things to do like working or after school like sports and stuff like that. And then most of the time like the juniors, they take the SAT, and that's just stressful on its own. And then everybody who takes AP classes will take AP exams.
I know for me personally, like right now, well, I actually don't know for all of us that are talking on the podcast right now, but so since we're taking like English to what else we taking? U.S. history, chemistry, stuff like that. Currently in chemistry, I have a research project that's due, and it's not even my final. I also have an 8-page essay on the Great Gatsby and what the American dream is supposed to be. And I also, in U.S. history, I just turned in a paper about immigration. So it's kind of like Jakayla was saying, it's just a whole bunch of busy work. And, it's really frustrating as a student because at the end of the school year, I expect it to be less stressful because, we're about to go into summer break and we're about to enjoy ourselves. And especially during this time when, like, all the bigger tests are coming around with APs and, even just finals, we should be focusing on our mental health and relaxing, getting ready for that instead of being overwhelmed by all these other assignments and different things going on at school.
I think teachers are just trying to cram every single thing they didn't get like assigned students in the middle of the year to them now, which is adding more stress onto these students than they think they're y'all know what I'm trying to say, but they're stressing the students out, period, point blank. And I know these teachers have probably done this a million gazillion times, but they should also know how detrimental it is to their students, and they should take that into account, because having a 9-page essay to do, having these AP tests to do back to back, because students could be taking like 3 AP tests and have to do AP classes and have to do 3 AP tests. That's stressful. And my U.S. history teacher was telling me like once like 3 students during the AP Gov exam walked out because it's just a long and grueling test, and the test is more so about how long can you sit here and put all this learning that you did into this one big hard test, and some students just can't do it. And I feel like students shouldn't be bashed for that or shouldn't be looked down upon for that because it's stressful. And I think adults have a different perception on school like than what we do, because school for them then isn't what it is now. I think we get more work. Our tests are harder. They didn't take the SAT. They took the ACT, which most adults say was probably a lot more easier than the SAT. So yeah, the end of the year is just bad.
I don't think it's necessarily that adults don't understand or they didn't go through the same stuff as us, because, like, not to like completely disagree with you, but schooling has been the same since school started, like since school was invented. So I don't think it's necessarily, or like, I think stress like is more intense now because college just started becoming a bigger thing with our generation. I feel like college, well, with the millennials, but I think college started to become more important or more competitive, to say, in recent years. So things like AP exams, getting like a 5.4 on an AP exam is really like crucial almost, because if colleges don't see that you're participating in all these things your school has to offer, then they're less hesitant to be like we want you, because school is really competitive now.
Okay, I wanted to talk about last year when I was a freshman. I took AP human geography, and like obviously at the end of the year, I had to take my AP exam. And my experience, like Taylor said, it's like a very long test, and like I personally feel like it's very pressuring on kids and stuff like that. I feel like it's very pressuring because my AP teacher, the way that she was like, basically we didn't finish the whole curriculum that we needed to learn to take the AP test. And like I don't know if it's like that for, every other AP teacher, but basically what she did was weeks before the AP test, she basically crammed a lot of like the curriculum into us, and basically just trying to teach everything in one day and then do something else the next day. And I feel like that was probably one of the most stressful experiences of my life, because I'm trying to study with like what I know, and now I have to learn something new and study with this as well. And like honestly, I never even checked my AP score because it was so stressful, and I was scared because I wanted to pass it obviously, but I just never checked to just avoid the stress. And to add on to what Skylar said, I feel like with adults, some parents do not understand at all, and they try to say that they understand, but they don't. And I feel like yes, school has been the same, but the curriculum has changed a lot. And I don't really know how it went with like adults taking like the SAT or the ACT. Like I don't know, but what I do know is the curriculum has extremely changed. So like what regular third graders are learning now, I'm pretty sure like my mom, she was learning that like in fifth grade. And like my mom would probably pressure my brother, but like this is like very hard for him. And it's like the same with me. Like this is hard for me because what you were doing in geometry years ago is different from what I was doing in geometry now.
Yeah, I think that's true. Also, with just like the idea of how I feel like parents now, agreeing with you on that, with that aspect, parents now don't understand how much pressure is already on us, because there's so many different people putting pressure on us as students, between teachers, counselors, principals, peers even, like, and then parents just adding on, it just makes it worse. Because when you, like, for example, so since we're sophomores going into like our junior year, we're starting to look more into college and stuff like that, because we're about to be applying to schools, writing our personal statements soon. And I just feel like now college is, like I already said, it's so much more competitive. So the stress is so much more. Like you'll be on social media, let's say TikTok, Instagram, whatever. You'll be on social media like looking up stuff about the school you want to go to. You see a girl who got in, she took 13 APs over the course of her whole high school career. 13 APs over the whole
$3
course.
million in scholarships.
Oh my God, like a 5.7 GPA.
Real. The pressure is real, because then you like, if I'm not like that, I'm not gonna get in that school, and that's my dream school. If I don't get $3 million in scholarships, if I don't take 16 AP classes and do dual enrollment, I'm not getting into the school. It's really crazy, and I feel like our parents didn't go through that same amount of pressure when they were in school. Not saying that they didn't have the ambition to go to college, but like some of them didn't. Some of them didn't. But I'm saying, like, I just don't think teachers now, teachers then are the same. Curriculums in school now and then aren't the same. Like Jakayla said, third graders are probably learning how to square a number. Like I don't know, it's crazy the way school has really evolved and how stressful it is, even probably on a 12-year-old. Like my little sister, she's really smart, and she takes classes like I think she's in 4th grade, but she's doing 8th grade work. And she's like, Taylor, do you know this? Do you understand this? In 8th grade, I ain't understanding it. As a 10th grader now, I still don't understand it. But like, I find that crazy how a 4th grader is doing 8th grade work. But I'm completely sure my daddy and my mama ain't have to do that. They never had to worry about that. They didn't have to worry about that kind of stress. But they think stress comes from going to a job, working a 9 to 5. Stress comes from our 9 to 5, which is school. And they just don't understand that. for some odd reason.
So with all that being said, thank you for listening to the True Topics podcast sponsored by True Star Media. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at true.shy.
Bye.